Hello, everybody. Nice to have you. My name is Frank Schwarzenau. I'm a partner development specialist for cloud operations and security for the Americas region. So it's my job to make partners more successful on cloud operations. And I'm joined here on stage by Gabriel Costa, who is the PSA, Partner Solution Architect, also for cloud operations. So what are we focusing on today? AIOps and operations. I'm going to talk a little bit about how AI is now a part or a fundamental part of operations, of cloud operations in AWS. What's our vision in AWS for AIOps? And then Gabriel is going to go through a couple of already existing AI service features that we currently have across our cloud operational stack. And then in the end, I'm going to close us out with referring to our partners that are already validated for AIOps. So what's the vision for AIOps? So we actually did a little survey, and we surveyed some of our developers of how much of their daily time they spend on repetitive tasks, on mundane tasks. And it's probably not surprising to you that about 70% on average by a regular developer is spent on repetitive tasks like bug fixing or controls management or those kind of things. And only 30% is the fun stuff, the creative problem solving, the innovation, the design. And the vision for AWS and our ambition to build the future of operations is to reduce those mundane tasks and reduce those mundane and manual tasks for our engineers. One question that we always get asked when we talk about AIOps is what's the difference between MLOps and AIOps? And it's a little bit similar to defining what actually cloud operations is. And if you look at the left-hand side here, it shows that all of what we're talking about when we talk about AIOps is the management of your entire environment. It's basically using ML or AI to manage your environment better, to enhance the quality of the operations, and make it easier for developers to manage it. On the ML side, however, it's just focusing on the ML models or the LLM models, if you talk about LLM ops as well, and how to make those models act faster, better, have better data inputs, and really making those models better. So talking about AIOps, I'm going to give us a foundation of what CloudOps actually means. In AWS, and if you haven't stopped by the booth next door here for cloud operations, we consider CloudOps as an integrated operational model across those 5 things that you see here on stage. That's governance, cloud financial management, monitoring, compliance, and ops management, which is ITSM integration most of the time. And our vision for AWS is that we want to enable our customers to have an integrated operational model that covers all 5. We don't want customers to over-procure on an observability platform and forget about compliance or forget about cloud financial management. So the partners that I'm going to talk about in the end of the presentation are validated against all of this, and we're going to talk about the AIOps aspects along those 5. How do we do this for partners is we define these use cases, and we validate our partners against those use cases. And our partners are extremely advanced, our cloud operational partner are extremely advanced to integrate all of the services that Gabriel is going to talk about in a minute in these use cases. Assemble those AWS AI Lego blocks into creating value for our customers. And I'm very happy to walk you through this entire slide over there, right on this booth, after the presentation and give you a little bit more context on this. But at this point, I'm going to hand over to Gabriel to talk you through to all of the existing AIOps capabilities that we have across the stack right now.
Thanks, Frank. So yeah, what we've been doing, and this has been for a while already, is adding these AI capabilities across different services to improve cloud operations and make it easier and to achieve it effectively in the cloud, right? So let's say with cloud financial management, right? One of the use cases we have is right sizing, right? Reducing cost by right sizing your workloads. That's what we launched with Compute Optimizer in 2019. So we're using machine learning. You don't have to be a specialist in machine learning. We're using this capability to to look at the past data history of your metrics, right? Your CPU, RAM, and storage of your EC2 instances, RDS databases, and Lambda functions as well, and to give you a recommendation what would be the right instance that has the best price-performance ratio for you, right? And again, you don't need to do anything. You just need to have the metrics collected in CloudWatch. And we have the model, right, the statistical model built by the machine learning to do these optimizations for you, right? But we also have all the features in monitor observability. Let me ask a question. Who would rather learn a SQL-like query language to answer something like, how many users logged into my AWS account in the last 3 months, or how many users download S3 buckets, S3 objects from my S3 bucket, versus just asking via natural language like I'm doing, right? This is exactly what we launched with CloudTrail Lake, AI-powered natural language generation, right? So you can use natural language to ask questions. It's going to generate you the query, and then you can just execute it. And we did the same with CloudWatch, right? So if you have metrics and logs in CloudWatch, you can just ask a natural question in natural language without having to understand the log structure and ask questions about your logs and your metrics as well. But we also did a lot of improvements on integrating Amazon Q with the different service. So show of hands here, who had issues with deploying CloudFormation the, stack sets or stacks right into your accounts, and you didn't know what was the root cause or how to fix it? Just myself or anyone around here, right? We have a feature integration of Q Developer with CloudFormation right now, where it's going to tell you on the CloudFormation console what is the root cause and hypotheses on how to fix it as well. And we have the same capabilities announced for Systems Manager. So if you have managed nodes on Systems Manager, you can just ask him in natural language, how many Windows servers do I have with version 2016, and so on. And you're going to have in natural language the results as well. And last but not least, the integration we did with CloudWatch as well, that we announced yesterday as well with Q. So now you can do investigations on top of your cloud operation instance using CloudWatch data, config resource data as well, to understand what's happening with your resources, how can you improve operational efficiency as well, right? So yeah, this is all good, but why is this important to us, right? This is important because in the world we're living today, we're talking about cloud-native, disparate, distributed applications, containers with multiple dependencies, third-party dependencies as well. So we're talking about a lot of data, metrics, logs, and traces being generated. You need to correlate this data as well. So you need to have the right signals being correlated so you know what's happening, what's the root cause, how to fix it. You're probably going to run into sensory overload as well with the telemetry data because you're going to have too much data in different silos that you need to work through, right? And alarm fatigue as well. Multiple alarms running. And it's always at 2 a.m., right? That's just Murphy's Law, right? Always at 2 a.m. Waking us up. And then you need to find the root cause and remediate faster and prevent it, right? So that's what we're trying to fix with AI, folks. So before AIOps, you're probably doing all of this manually or creating your own automation to resolve this, right? To automatically instrument your applications, to collect the traces, logs, metrics, to correlate and aggregate this, and finally do analytics to discover the root cause and make sure that that doesn't happen again, right? So have that flywheel that doesn't happen again, and the reporting as well. So after AIOps, what we're trying to do is have AI capability in those features and services, so you don't have to build this, you don't have to know much about machine learning science, and you can have automatic instrumentation, analytics, and resolving this as well. So this is a cheat sheet that we have for like a framework for monitoring with AIOps in AWS, right? We're going to dive deep into the monitor observability aspect here. Right, so you're going to have your applications deployed across your resources, right? Your EC2 instances, RDS databases, your Lambda functions. You're probably going to be collecting, instrumenting those applications to collect metrics, logs, and traces, like I talked about. You're going to have your vendor metrics. So your CPU, RAM, those are collected automatically by EC2, for example, but you can also ingest custom metrics as well, right? So your application level metrics, right? Your service availability, you can collect those as well. Your custom logs, right? You also want to have your CloudTrail data as well, right? Collected. Who did what and when on my accounts and on my AWS APIs, right? So this is all pretty cool. Then you're probably gonna need to set alarms, right? What is the right threshold for my alarms? How much of my CPU, RAM, storage, but also how much of my high-level metrics do I need to alert, right? What is the correct level for my service level on my API, right? Is it 99% of availability for a dev environment? Is it higher for QA? I'm going to build my dashboards, right? Low-level dashboards, high-level dashboards. And of course, you want to create automated systems to open tickets using either chatbots with Slack or integrated with Jira, ServiceNow, right? And that's all pretty cool. But now you're thinking, okay, how can AI actually help me? Can AI do even more than this? Yes, and that's where we can actually have anomaly detection metrics and have augmented insights as well. So let's talk a little bit about that. Another way you could think about that cheat sheet diagram as well is on the observability maturity model. Show of hands, how many of you guys heard about the AWS Observability maturity model? Yeah, I see two there, but you guys don't count. Yeah, I see one here, okay. So the idea is that as customers, you might be onboarding your observability into level 1, right? So you might be doing basic monitoring, right? CPU, your infrastructure, maybe a little bit of logging as well on your custom applications. But then you're going to be setting up your alarms, right? Your dashboards. But really where you want to get is level 3 and level 4. We're talking about proactive. So finding out that things are going to go bad before they actually go, right? And actually self-healing, resolving without even having human intervention as well. And this is where we have those AWS services that can help you with AI capabilities. So first one I'm going to be talking is CloudWatch anomaly detection, right? So imagine that you have a pretty seasonable workload, right? Let's say an e-commerce where you have, along the day, you have spikes, let's say at 2 p.m., but then traffic goes lower at night, for example, right? Pretty typical to happen with e-commerce, for example, like you're seeing the dashboard. It's going to be harder for you to create alarms just using static thresholds, right? Just define, well, this is what my alarm is going to trigger, but then you might be missing when it's going down, right? Or when there's an anomaly. That's exactly why we have anomaly detection. So it uses machine learning algorithm built by years of us working right with the scale that we're working with AWS, right? And then you're going to have not only a visualization like you're seeing there, right? So you have that gray band which indicates that the machine learning algorithm has created a statistic model saying what is the normal range for this metric, right? And this works with any metric that you have in CloudWatch, right? And then you're also going to have the outliers, those red lines. They are saying, well, is what the model says is out of the normal range, so these are considered anomalies. So then you can create automatic alarms for you, right? So it's going to adjust those thresholds automatically for you, and then you can act on top of this. And you can also visualize metrics on CloudWatch to alert you as well, right? So we've seen partners that implemented this with customers seeing anywhere from 15 to 40% lower incidents being reported because now they don't have the alarm fatigue, right? They don't have multiple alarms being triggered on false positives, right? So it's a pretty neat feature for you guys to check. But we also got to think about security, right? Security job zero always, so you need to think about security observability. So we have a service for static application security. It's called Code Guru Security. So what it does is it scans your custom application code, and it also works with CloudFormation and the Terraform CDK infrastructure as code as well. And we have an API that you can also integrate with third-party tools, CI/CD pipelines as well, and generate metrics so you can know exactly when you have security vulnerabilities in your application. So Gabriel, when you're talking application, what does that mean, right, for my application languages? So we support different application languages, right, from Java, Python, C#, Ruby, but also to infrastructure as code, like I talked about. And we have an open code library detector where you can actually see all the vulnerabilities that we scan. So things like log injection, hard-coded credentials. I never did that. I never had credential database in my application, right? Neither did you guys, I'm sure. But also things, other AWS best practices, right? Like client-side encryption. And we also have common weakness from the CW top 25 being scanned as well. So all of this information can be scanned on your custom applications by using different methodologies. So your developers, they can use these detectors if they are using QDeveloper. It uses the code security detector library. So while your developers are actually developing in the IDE, Visual Studio Code or Jira, it's detecting the security vulnerabilities and it's recommending you which lines of code they need to change, right? And what is the code that they need to change. So, okay, and that's a great first line of defense, but you don't want to be just on that line of defense. You also want to have a second line of defense, which is the CI/CD pipeline, right? So we integrate with different CI/CD pipelines, code pipeline, GitHub, Bitbucket, so you can have this code security guru scanning while your developers are committing, merging PRs, and so on. And you can also do it on testing, right? Testing container images with Inspector, which leverages Code Guru security as well. And while your applications are deployed as well. When they are deployed on Inspector, or sorry, on EC2 instance, Inspector can scan all of the custom application code, for example, in your Lambda, and also even dependencies as well, right? And we also have partners to do other scopes like dynamic application security testing as well. Cool. Gabriel, that's a lot of good information, but I don't want to do any configuration. I just want a simple service that can be my DevOps Guru, right? So what do you have to offer? That's exactly what DevOps Guru offers. So if you don't want to mess with configurations, if you don't want to create anomaly detectors in CloudWatch, DevOps Guru is automatically going to instrument your application. It supports both what we call reactive insights, so that means problems that are happening right now, or proactive as well, problems that will happen in the future for these different services, Lambda, DynamoDB, Kinesis, RDS, and SQS. And it's also going to give you insights on how to resolve those issues, right? So it's also scalable, and it's also reducing noise. To give you an example, this is a Lambda function I had in my account, right? It was deployed on this stack, API Lambda stack, and it's after I enabled DevOps Guru, right, it's giving me this insight that this Lambda, the execution duration, has breached the threshold. So it automatically set the alarms, it automatically set the anomaly detectors, and it's also correlating the metrics as well. So it's correlating the metrics for my duration, execution of my Lambda function, the API Lambda that I was calling my Lambda function as well, the latency, and it's seeing that I have a spike both in the latency of the API gateway and the execution duration of the API, of the Lambda function as well. Then it's also saying me, I think you have a high severity problem, and this is one way you can actually resolve it by increasing the enabling provision concurrency, right, for your Lambda. You're going to lower the latency, right, for your Lambda executions and your API gateway as well, latency as well. So very quickly, you can have a DevOps Guru acting for you with AI. Okay, so I want to leave you guys with a summary of what we spoke here and also a resource, right? So if there's anything you can leave off this session is that you don't need to be doing all of this stuff manually anymore. You can automatically instrument your applications with DevOps Guru or using CloudWatch features like application signals as well. You can have guided root cause analysis, be it with DevOps Guru or the integrations we're doing with Amazon Q Developer within the console of CloudWatch and CloudFormation, and also have a flywheel of remediating and making sure that those issues don't happen anymore. We have a QR code, so you guys have a step-by-step on how to get to level 4. So this is a crawl, walk, run methodology. Please get this one. But Frank, I heard that they have other options as well to help them get there even faster, right?
Yes, exactly. So I said that AWS is committed to build the future of operations, and we're building this future with our partners. So both Gabriel and myself, we're part of the partner org. We're validating partners. We're working with partners to build, market, and sell AIOps solutions. These are the number of partners that are here at this expo right now that we have already validated for these capabilities. So please check out the QR code. It leads you to the booths of all of our cloud operations partners here. And I would definitely welcome you to talk to them and let especially the SI companies help you to mature along the AWS observability maturity model. So with that, thanks a lot. Thanks for attending. I hope that you have a little bit of time to answer the survey and give us 5 stars.
And we're going to be right at the corner if you have any questions.
Yeah, if you have any more questions, they're right over there, and we're going to hang around for a bit.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.